तो आप 1980s का बता रहे थे कि you came into the business in the 1980s and there was a great sense of distress.
This remained the biggest problem, that from 1980s till 1985, first of all, I was trying to learn cinema in Pakistan from 1947 till 1980. Okay, what really has happened? One thing was very clear to me in my mind. Cinema was improving throughout the world. Now, when we used to read that the American industry is flourishing, the Indian industry is flourishing, every other industry is flourishing, while I could see that everything is going down here. So there had to be a very real problem. Why, when other industries are flourishing, why are we going down? So we had to find out that problem. And that is what I was doing for 5 years. That I was targeting or, cutting it down to what are those real problems, why we are not able to get up the way other industries are improving themselves. And we did short it down to two things. There was a problem at that time with cinemas in Pakistan, which was related with the entertainment duty. Now, cinemas were taxed very highly because cinemas was the only medium of visual and audio entertainment before radio and television came. So, in 1971, in Sindh, they were taxed at 100%, and in Punjab, they were taxed at 150%. That means if you want to keep an admission price of 1 rupee, 1.5 rupees was tax. So you sold the ticket for 2.5 rupees.
I see.
Now, the tax was so high that, considering the inflation rate of Pakistan, that every year you would increase by 15 to 20%. What the government did was that they knew that the prices will increase every year, and they will increase not with 15% inflation, they would increase by 20 or 25%. And that would become too much for the public to pay. So with the taxation, they also said that the government controls the price. So the cinema owner could not keep his own admission. And that is how the government controlled the price from 1970 till 2001.
I see.
And they kept it so low that nobody could improve. The last, in 1990s, the highest price was 30 rupees. The average price was 16 rupees. Now 16 rupees, out of that 16 you have to pay 55% tax also. So ultimately you were working on something like 8 rupees. And from that 8 rupees, two people were working, the exhibitor and the distributor. So you cut down to 4 rupees. Now I am charging you 30. As a customer, you are coming in paying 30 rupees.
Okay.
I am getting 4 rupees. And I have to justify that 30. That became the most difficult part. Because I could only offer you 4 rupees.
Yeah.
That is what I was making. And that deteriorated the entire industry. And it kept on deteriorating. Because the cinemas could not improve themselves, they were locked in. They could not increase their prices. Many went for the second option, which was the easier option. Because they didn't want to fight with the government. So that became the easier option, and they went for overcharging, black, everything illegal. And that is how the cinemas survived for quite some time, but then again that also did not work. So ultimately, cinema started shutting down. And everybody must have had a perception, that the perception lies that cinemas were shut down because the owners wanted to make high-rise buildings out of it, and that was more profitable. Let me tell you one thing, I have not come across in Pakistan one owner of the cinema who has shut his cinema down willingly. Everyone has shut it down because they did not have a choice. Now, there was a reason why the willingness was not there. The study which we had, cinema in Pakistan was never a business. Everybody was a single owner of cinemas. And everybody who owned the cinema was not dependent on that cinema.
Okay.
He had other businesses. He had taken this cinema for two purposes. One, he took it as a land. Okay, I am taking land and that land will always appreciate. Secondly, he wanted to be recognized. Now, being a cinema owner in those times when VCR was not there was a humongous thing. If you were sitting with, people, industrialists who had 200 crore rupee industry and you were a cinema owner, you were something big. Everybody could relate to you. They could not relate to that industrialist. So people bought cinemas so they could have their own name. And for them, it never remained their business. They just wanted to rent out of it. And that was the majority of cinemas in Pakistan. And majority of the cinemas were not run by their owners. They were run by third parties or by their managers. Because the owners were never interested in it. They were just interested that, okay, we should get enough rent that the salaries and all, this should be taken off. Nobody was interested in a profit. That I have to run my house or I should take it as a business. And that is why nobody fought for it also. That was the main reason why nobody fought for it.
So in a way, when you say that there was a certain appropriation of blame towards the government कि उन्होंने support नहीं किया, तो जो बात आप कर रहे हैं कि जो business end था उसका भी इतना stake नहीं था शायद इसके अंदर कि जैसे आपने कहा कि American industry में they move towards regulation very quickly and there's an entire lobby that has to get up and say okay this is what we require और उसकी एक बहुत ज़्यादा perseverance चाहिए होती है उसके लिए persistence चाहिए होती है और बहुत ज़्यादा आप strong advocacy करते हैं तो शायद हमारी इंडस्ट्री में से ऐसी voices इतनी strong निकली नहीं जिन्होंने जाके गवर्नमेंट को प्रेशराइज किया होता कि हमें ये सारी फैसिलिटीज़ प्रोवाइड करें.